There's that old familiar school bell, and every great school has a great fight song, and I choose to use the University of Idaho's fight song. Say loud, say proud. I-D-A-H-O. Idaho, go, go, go. That's right, you're listening to an inspirational, exceptional, motivational episode of Connecting Life. I'm your host. My name is Paul Oates. You can reach me on my email address, and I wish you would, B-A-N-D, the number 2, gatherband, together, Comcast.net. Also go to our website, which is conductingmylife.com, where you will see I'm an author, speaker, trainer, coach. I work with John Maxwell's material. This podcast, or whatever you'd like to call it, does not represent them, but it represents me. And so glad you're with me, by the way. I'm recording this on the 16th of February, and I'm sending it out to the world on the 5th of March. I want to say a special shout out to my beautiful scholars, students that are listening to this, past, present, and future. I see that many of you are becoming subscribers, which is great because you get to learn more about your teacher. And I appreciate this. And the 7th and 8th grade scholars at the current charter school I teach at, they're going to like this one because it has to do with one of the pieces we're performing, Shakespeare Meets Godzilla. And I think they're going to get a kick out of it. Okay, I wrote this and posted it on the 29th of September, 2024, so you get an idea. My wife and I went to see Matt Walsh's great movie, Am I a Racist? And this is my thought after coming home. And I used Shakespeare Meets Godzilla as the theme, as part of to help me. So I loved the movie, Am I a Racist? I know it's streaming. If you can see it, definitely see it. So I encourage, and again, this is pro or con for the DEI. And scholars, students, you don't know what that is because we don't do that at our school. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Okay, if you're pro or con, watch the movie. Open yourselves up to being vulnerable and seeing how other people think about what you're thinking. So, by the way, at the time of this I'm recording this on February 16th. There's been a 2-week get DEI out of public government schools, or else you lose federal support. Well, there you go. You wanted a federal Department of Education. You got one. So my takeaway from the movie was those with the power will manipulate or bully the weak. Those with the power will manipulate or bully the weak. Since the beginning of man, this drive to be the one with the power has been the case, and still the case today, and I predict it'll be the case tomorrow. As a person who supposedly had the power until recently, to see it from the other side of power, it's self-awakening. And what I mean by that is, prior to the Civil Rights Act, there is a definite argument that white men had the power. Okay, I get you. But now we don't. It's been like, take it away. We're pretty much getting to be back on, an even ground where white people, don't have the power. So those with DEI credentials today are the equivalent to those yesterday or yesteryear who had the correct pigmentation and the right genitalia. Seriously, think about it. Okay? And I just said that a while ago, 60, 70 years ago. Yes, the white men had the power, but now all the blue-haired non-white men, they now have the power. See how it's working? The power has shifted to them, even though they are the minority. And so some people, scholars and students, would say the tyranny of the minority is happening. I continue. So this is from a music teacher's perspective. I started teaching high school music July 3rd, 1989. I actually started teaching January of 1989 at 3 elementary schools in beautiful Santa Cruz. All my time has been in California. Back then, 1989, when we went to conferences to learn how to be a better music teacher, it was about learning how to be a better music teacher, how to teach rhythms, read notes, play an instrument. 35 years later, the presentations now include topics that have nothing to do with the actual playing an instrument, maintenance of an instrument, how to have 2 or more voices sound like one. No. What is encroaching time at a music teacher's conference, professional development days, are now questions such as the one in the picture. Have you ever felt like a piece of music or the way in which you taught a piece of music stereotyped, tokenized, or othered a culture or ethnicity? Have you ever felt like a piece of music or the way in which you taught a piece provided a positive or culturally respectful experience for your students to explore music from a different culture? What has happened to and or in the music rooms that led to the need for these type of questions? The movement of the secular humanists. I never and will never look at music through these questions and lenses. I choose music that I believe will help a student to be a better musician. I encourage my fellow music teachers to choose music for the same principle. Shakespeare Meets Godzilla. Unfortunately, this movement is going to be here for a while, this movement of DEI, but it could not be. We'll see. Probably will pass my entry into heaven. However, we need to stand up against this movement. We need to return to do our jobs and stay in our lane. Our lane? Teach music. Okay? Teach music. Did you like the little fake echo? Anyway, I believe that what Leonard Bernstein said decades ago, he did say people first, music second. No doubt. Touch a heart before you ask for a hand. This question, again, is not a way to ask for a hand. Again, there's a photo, and look at the conductingmylife.com Shakespeare Meets Godzilla blog article. I have it written for you. The way to ask for a hand is to model the behavior you want and expect from your followers, your students, other people's children. Remember, the students and scholars are not your children. They're not your kiddos. They are your students or scholars. Therefore, choose music you believe the students will enjoy and learn from. For the first time since 1989, I am teaching 4th through 8th grade. Hello, scholars. I love you. I need to find music that I would never have looked for previous 30 years of teaching, right? I'm looking for music for 4th graders when I've been doing high school for 35 years. I found a very fun piece. It's called Shakespeare Meets Godzilla. In no way did I think, oh, good. With this piece of music, I can make fun of British people because of the melody. Oh, good. I can make fun of Japanese people because of the music shouts out to Godzilla, which is the part of the Japanese culture. However, selecting music for today's students, the filter is different. One may not choose Shakespeare Meets Godzilla because it could be seen as mocking British and Japanese people. Well, Japanese people, I don't know if the people are going to care about the British people. Anyway, it does what? Well, I mean, anyone can now take a piece of music and find something DEI-ish with it. Be it the composer's pigmentation, sex, male or female, homo or heterosexual, or what the actual piece represents. Instead of choosing a piece of music for the 4th through 12th grade students to teach and learn the 7 elements of music, and isn't that enough? Rhythm, melody, harmony, texture, dynamics, tempo, and sound. The music teacher now needs to be aware of non-music material. Really? Didn't you, the music teacher, have enough to teach? Obviously not. Add to your list of how to select music. Avoid being labeled racist. Avoid being labeled sexist, xenophobic, etc., etc., etc. So, regardless of profession, how to move forward, here's the answer. Number 1, let's do the golden rule. Okay? Do unto others as you do unto you. Practice the golden rule. Number 2, fellow Christians, do not do what Jesus would do. Fellow Christians, do what Jesus would do. Do not succumb to the teachings of the secular humanist. These 2 questions at the professional development, which is in the article attached to this podcast, would not have happened if the teachings of Jesus Christ is at the center of our lives, our families. Remember what John Adams said? John Adams said, strongly believed that the Constitution was designed for a moral and religious people and would not function properly without a citizenry committed to high ethical and I'm stumbling, as Keith Jackson would say. Stumbling. The Constitution was designed for a moral and religious people and would not function properly without a citizenry committed to high ethical standards and virtue. Remember, scholars, public and private virtue. Essentially stating that the Constitution is, quote unquote, wholly inadequate to the government of any other type of people. Number 3, stay in your lane. When the government gets in your lane in teaching your given subject, speak up. Silence is compliance. Yes, when you speak up, you're going to lose friends, family, job, money, and many other things from my experience. And it hurts like heck. A lot. I've cried many times. Felt lonely many times. I will lose more money for writing this article and posting it. But the short term, even if that is the length of my life, which can be as long as 90 plus years, but the short-term pain is for the long-term gain for many. So in conclusion, be who you want your children, followers, and students to be. Stop the madness. I give you, friend, family, stranger, the benefit of the doubt. If you're a music teacher, I will first believe you choose music to help me be a better musician, not to indoctrinate me. So do that. Choose music that will make me a better musician. I will turn to my Lord, my parents, my counselor to learn how to be a better person and bring that better person to your rehearsals. Oh, and by the way, my scholars and I are super excited about performing Shakespeare Meets Godzilla on May 22nd, 2025. Thank you, Robert Buckley, whoever you are, whatever you look like, whatever. I just know you're Robert Buckley, if that's your real name, for that wonderful piece. I really was spurned on writing this because I recently heard somebody got mad because a conductor didn't have a female composer on the concert. And I don't understand. I'm not getting it. It was wrong before the Civil Rights Movement, and it's wrong after the Civil Rights Movement. I don't think we should be choosing people based on genitalia and ethnicity, religion. How about just does the music make sense? Is it good? Are my students, scholars, going to learn how to play their instrument better? Yeah, let's look at that, not who wrote the piece of music. There we go. Begin with the end in mind. Every choice you make is who you are, so choose wisely. Seek first to understand, and then be understood. And finally, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and I care a lot about you, especially my scholars, students. I love you, all of you. Not just my students and scholars. I mean, I literally love you all. Jesus taught me to do that. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, we have a Venmo account. We have a PayPal account. Find me, Paul Everts, and we appreciate your financial support as well. God bless you all, and I love you.